there, Kira here for the Citrus Twist subscriber workshop, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your own pocket pages. So I'm doing this with a fuse tool, but you could easily do this with a sewing machine as well if you have a sewing machine. But I have a fuse tool, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. So I'm going to make this so it fits it fits two 3x4 cards. So I fused it so it is a little over 3 inches wide because I like to add a lot of dimension to my projects, so I need to make sure that my card will fit in there once I have the dimension on there. And then here I stuck in some chipboard into the pocket page so I can separate it into 2 pockets. So then I just cut at 4 inches along the chipboard so it doesn't go all the way through to the reverse side. And then I'm going to fuse it just right above that cut line right there. So now it'll fit 2 3x4 cards. So I have my journaling already typed up on this card. I believe this is one of the printable cards from this month. And then the top card, I'm actually just going to cut from some of the pattern paper from the Life Crafted kit this month. It's these cute little orange and pink hearts. So I just really liked those, and I thought they'd be cute with the other colors I picked out. And then I'm such a sucker for grid paper, so I wanted to use grid paper for my background paper for this side. And this is where I'll put my photo. I'm going to be documenting my son's love of reading, so I love all these little reading elements that were included in this month's kit, and I'm just going to be building up some layers over here with some of the pieces from the kit. So I use the frame, which is from one of the cut aparts. I think the label might be from the cut apart sheet as well. All the little pieces of ephemera are from the exclusive die cut pack included in the Life Crafted kit. And I brought in a couple of the chipboard from the kit as well, along with the tiny word stickers. So I'm just going to be building up a few little clusters kind of around my page and on that little pocket card up top. And then I'm going to try and figure out how to use the stamp set here. So originally I had planned on stamping like a little title up on this label here, but I'll change my mind about that in a little bit and you'll see what I end up doing. But I don't like to commit too early on, so I'll let stamps kind of sit there before I decide what to do. So I'm just going to let the stamp sit up there and kind of see if that's the direction I want to go. I also do end up using one of these tiny word stickers, but I am going to let that sit for a little bit before I decide to adhere it down. And then I'm just going to be playing with some of these other elements here before I decide what I want to do. And then I think what I'll end up doing is pulling out the stamp set again to see if there's anything else I might want to use. And I really love this little triangle element on the stamp set. And I thought it would be really cute to add some tiny details on this page. I originally thought that I might want to do this in black to kind of pull in some of the darker blacks and grays from the photo, but I ended up going with this distress ink, which is like a lilac, I believe. And I thought that it worked really well with the colors I already had picked out. But when I stamped this stamp on the label, I thought it was too much of that purple over on that card, because you see I have, the purple from the die cut that says story. There's like a purple book, and then once I have this purple on here, it just seems like it's very purple heavy. So I decide against that and decide to add in some of this green. So I put that green up there and I was like, oh yeah, I like the green better. So the green is going to stay right there. But I do decide that I did like the purple. It went well with the rest of the elements I have on this page. So I decided to do some stamping in the purple with this little triangle stamp. And I love how this turned out. So I did like some, some stamping and then like stamped it again. So you kind of got like that kind of ghost stamp after it. And I think it was just a really great way to add just a touch more color and a way to use up those stamps too. So I'm going to be popping a lot of things up with some foam dots because I do really love dimension on my pages, and I think that it adds a lot to a page just to give a little bit of shadow. So I'm just going to bump this up on some foam. I'll bump up, did I bump up my photo? No, I think I bump up the chapters die cut. I'll bump that up on some foam as well. And maybe that little book die cut, I think I might bump that up too. And that's just to give everything just a little bit of a pop to the page. I will take this layer and kind of rough up the edges. I love adding any sort of texture to my pages, and I think that kind of roughing up your edges a little bit is a really easy way to give your page some texture. So I do that all the time. And then I'll just adhere this right on top of that. And then, it's funny because I use that frame die cut as kind of my jumping off point for color for this page because I really like the green, and then it's got those little dots of purple and pink and orange, and then I end up covering up that completely. I was like, oh, I'll just cover that. I used it as inspiration. I don't need to use it anymore. So I'll cover that up, stick down a label, and then that chapters piece right on top. And then I'm going to use that little ticket to kind of layer behind this little book. But I didn't like where I stuck it down at first, so I had to kind of figure out where I wanted it. And decided I like that. The little 24/7, you see that down on the paper, that's actually on the paper itself. So I wanted to use that element in the design, so I made sure to not cover up that piece of it. Now I'll go ahead and adhere everything down on this little card, and I'll bump that up on some foam and put these little books down there. The story will go right on top of there, and I just glue that down. Since I'm adding this little chipboard heart, I didn't think it needed too much more dimension. And the chipboard heart was originally supposed to go on the story somewhere, but I couldn't remember where I'd put it. So I ended up just putting it on the green piece, and I think it looks better there anyways. And then I do remember this little tiny word sticker I had, and I will bump that up on some foam and stick that down below. And that is my layout. I will have some close-ups here at the end, but I'm just going to go ahead and stick everything in the pocket page so you can see how it all works. And stick this other one in the page, and then I'll go ahead and stick that in my Life Crafted album. I hope you guys enjoy this, and hopefully you'll find this inspiring and get you working in your Life Crafted album. You guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye.